So we've all heard the oud rea reverberate in our eardrums many times over, and that is a beautiful rendition of the Epic of Gilgamesh by Peter Pringle on YouTube. I do recommend that you go and have a look. So this isn't actually the Epic of Gilgamesh, this is actually one of the 5 earliest Sumerian poems which inspired the full epic that we have come to know and love. So it's actually from the first few lines of Gilgamesh, Enkidu and the Netherworld. So today we're going to translate the first 3 lines of the poem and let you know what's going on with the Sumerian grammar. So the famous phrase oud rea is actually made up of the word for day. Re is a demonstrative which means those. And the a at the end is actually the locative case marker meaning into something. So oud rea literally means in those days. And then we have a similar construction here, oud, but then we have sura, so this is a form of the word sud, which means to be distant. And then at the very end we have rea again, so in those distant days. And then we have gi, which is the word for night, and then rea again, so in those nights. So just a note on the G that you see with the little squiggle on top, so it's actually the Akkadian speakers that told us how Sumerian would have likely sounded. So as you can see here it says, we can therefore say with reasonable certainty that the Sumerian G was pronounced as a voiced vela nasal. So if you think of the word sing, the ng at the end, the ng, is likely what's the sound it's creating. So that would sound something like ngirea. And then we have ngibararea. So ngi, which means night, and then bara is a form of the word bad. And this bad means remote or to be open. So the second line reads, in those nights, in those remote nights. And then finally we have murea. So mu actually can mean a few different things, but here it's taking on the meaning of year or years. So murea, in those years. And again, the same thing here, mu surarea, so in those distant years. As we can see, that is corroborated in the official translation on the electronic corpus of Sumerian literature, where you can go and read the entire text for free. In those days, in those distant days, in those nights, in those remote nights, in those years, in those distant years. So thank you so much for watching. That's it from me today. If you do want to see some more Gilgameshi translations, I do have another 2 parts translating a line from the death of Gilgamesh and one from this poem as well. So do go and check those out on my TikTok, YouTube or Instagram. Until then, I will see you next time.